Absolutely. There is a common misconception that shadow work means to do inner child healing or to go and relive and heal the trauma that occurred from childhood. That helps, but that's not where you start. To benefit us the most, the first place we start with shadow work is our current patterns and behaviors. This is a book I wrote, the Shadow Work Bible. It's huge, it's 22 chapters, and my way of doing things is very multidimensional. I talk to you about how each pattern and behavior is influenced from parallel realities that are happening simultaneously to this one. In those parallel realities, you have a version of you where you made a choice, or a side quest, I call it, and that version of you still lives, and that version of you still speaks to you and influences your current patterns and choices. So yes, going into your childhood is helpful, but to start right here, right now, and unweave that trauma is the way I like to do things. Your shadow is the parts of you that you feel shame, guilt, resentment, anger, sadness for. We are made of light and dark, and our lightness is our highest vibration. We have moments that we feel guilt and shame for that actually lives even lower than our root chakra. It lives in a energy pillar I call the shame gate that lives in between your knees. This is why older people have a lot of knee issues, and if you were to ask someone on their deathbed, they're going to tell you about the things that they have guilt and shame for. That will be what people take with them to the grave, because it is the absolute hardest emotion for us to process and metabolize. Because when we enter the shame gate, that is where we have to decide that we want to recognize and take accountability for everything that we have experienced. And if in your experiences, or even right now, you have blame on yourself or anyone for anything that you've ever experienced, that is your shadow. Our shadow loves to blame because our ego is afraid, and they're friends. Our ego is afraid to feel the emotions for that moment where things were suppressed, because if they feel it, then you're going to have to go back there. And in that time, the ego did everything that it could to protect you from completely collapsing. So you have to look at things right here, right now. Patterns like excessive shopping, patterns like excessive eating. Consumption is a big part of our shadow. Do you have patterns of looping into different relationships that you create the same situation with romantic partners, but also business partners? And it starts with, I always experience blank. That is a pattern, because we are antennas. You and I are an antenna. Everything that is going on inside of us is what we will magnetize to us. So once you've recognized your current patterns and behaviors that are no longer serving you, these are your shadow sides of things that you don't talk to people about because you have shame and guilt around it. The illumination of it is shadow work.